Hey, this is Jonathan at TopSaw. This channel is all things wood, from tree work to woodwork. One thing that drives me crazy is changing out a table saw blade for a dado stack. But I've come up with a great solution. It uses a Magswitch to snap down on your tabletop, and it cuts perfect dados every time. Really easy with a standard blade. In this video, I'll go over how to make this jig. Okay, here we are in the high school wood shop. I actually built this with a laser cutter, a universal laser cutter, and if you have one of those, I'll put a link in the description to the plans for this board. So you'll be able to get those plans and cut it out on a laser and just put it together. It's a really easy project on a laser, especially if you have those plans. This is 1/4" plywood, and then the engraves are done. And then this is an 1/8" shield, and then the Magswitch, and then I have these wooden washers to fill in the 3/4 inch so the Magswitch fills on there. So if you have a laser cutter, I'll put the link in the description. If you don't have a laser cutter, I'll go over how to make it with the table saw. The first thing you really want to do before you even get started is turn the table saw all the way off and the breaker off as well, and check the kerf of your blade. So here's a dial caliper here, and you can see the standard on this table saw is 125 thou. So this blade is an exact 1/8 inch. There are narrower kerf blades on table saws, and if you have one of those, this is all going to work exactly the same way, except on these steps right here, you're still going to do 1/8 inch steps, but then there'll be a little teeny bit of wood left that you'd have to chisel out. This plastic shield over the top, this little step in the plastic here is the width of the blade. So that's how when you measure between here and here, you subtract the blade width through this little step here. So if your blade is in a perfect 1/8 inch, then you would cut this with your blade to make it match your blade. So it's 3/4 inch ply, almost exactly 3/4. I'm going to rip it 4 by 10. Okay, the maximum blade height on my table saw is 3 inches. So I'm going to take that 3 inches and I want 8 cuts out of that. So if I make each one 3/8 of an increment difference, that'll give me the 3 inch height. I think that made sense. So let me do the layout real first. Okay, here's my laser cut tool. I'm going to flip this over and cut it out this way on the back. My total blade height on that table saw is 3 inches, and they're 1/8 wide. So I'm going to go 3/8 of an inch up and 1/8 of an inch over. So what I'm going to mark out here going this way is I'm going to mark every 1/8 inch increment going this way and 3/8 inch increment going that way. All right, so I want to come over here and I want to go 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. I don't know if you can see those are 1/8 inch increments there. And going up this way, and vertically I'm going 3/8. So I'm going 3/8, 6/8, right, 3/4, 6/8, 9/8. Right, so this one right here gets cut this way. This one it's cut this way. The 4th step. So that's the wood I'm removing here. And then when I'm using this tool, I'm going to flip it over, and this is my bump. So this is my 1/8 inch dado, my 1/4 inch dado, 3/8, half, 5/8. Okay, cutting it on the table saw with the miter gauge up on end. My first cut would be 3 inches high, 1/8 wide. My second cut would be an 1/8 over, so 1/4 by 2 5/8 high. And I keep stepping over an 1/8 inch every time. And I make sure it's flush to the blade. So I'm not actually measuring there, I'm actually using the blade width to match that width. So I step over an 1/8 and I go down 3/8 each time. So I lower the blade down 3/8 of an inch in height and go over 1/8 each cut. Okay, here's my board after cutting. You can see my height is way off. I should have measured those, but I didn't. I kind of looked at my lines. But my depth, my step in, needs to be perfect tolerance. Not perfect, I'd hope for like plus or minus 5/1000ths of an inch. The reason why that width doesn't matter is you're going to bring your board up to stop it there and then cut it, and then step up, step up, step up. So as long as you catch that step, it'll be plenty accurate enough. But the depth of the cut is what's really important. So let me turn it on end here, see if you can see these dots. So here's a set of dial caliper. So this first one right here is what, 116, 117, 117. So that's 0.008 of an inch off, a little more than the thickness of a piece of paper. That one's 125. That one's perfect. What's that? 123, 2 thou off. That one's off a little ways. 117, 120. Okay, back out in the shop. I'm going to drill a 1 1/4 inch hole through the plywood, kind of center it in there with a Forstner bit, going slow and preventing breakout. Then the Magswitch will fit in that 1 1/4 inch diameter hole. Works pretty well. Couple pilot holes before I screw it down, and making sure the screws don't go all the way through the board. So just screwing it so it doesn't play around in there at all. It is exactly 3/4 long, so the 3/4 ply works perfectly. Cut right there. Step up to 1/4. 3/8. 1/2. 5/8. 3/4. All right, let's check it with the caliper. So there's my dado right there. Oh, that's pretty close, 0.745. So that's how I could cut the measurement. And then the last piece is this little plastic shield, and then that's going to take into account the kerf of the blade. So this is just a 1/4 inch piece of scrap. The kid was doing a laser baseball. So this is 4 by 4.5. So this thing's going to sit on here, and then this is going to be my measuring from here to here. So I got to remove this little piece here by the width of the blade. So this is the piece coming out. Very accurately measure it to the width. Breaker's turned off, and I'm checking that for flush right there. Okay, so that'll work. Turn the power breaker back on, double lockout. And I'm just going to go up a little ways and then turn the saw off. And I'll just put a 1/4 hole in here. Do want to go on a straight line. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I only needed these 2 holes here. And then these holes in the top here. I didn't need those. I'm just going to travel like that. It's actually getting kind of late. So it's going to travel on that single bolt this way. So I don't need those holes. Outside to countersink the head. Just going that way. This is going to go there. A little tight. Should have a couple washers on there. Let's see if this will work. So let's give this a try. Okay, we set this up. This gap here, lock it down pretty tight. Now we're just going to step all the way up. First cut on the 8th. That thing fits in there. Oh, look at that. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. So I call it the M1C2, measure once, cut twice. I thought it actually had a marketable invention, but then I thought I'd just make a video and have people do it yourself. So if you like the idea, please comment below. I like it a lot. I would love for Magswitch to make it, but I'm not too sure it's the right product mix for them. You could get these Magswitches from Andy Klein. I don't know if you know him. Really fine woodworkers. Inspired me a lot in this high school wood shop of mine. So, okay. Well, thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. That'd be a cool way that you could make dados without having to swap out the blade. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you for watching.